one of my less favorite kinds of places.
And Andy's smiling because he loves the word buffet.
A friend of mine and one of my original mentors in the Focus program made the mistake of introducing me to sushi, and then my taste became progressively more expensive from there.
Yep. Let's see. Do you like crunchy foods?
It's all one to me, really. Crunchy, chewy, salty, sweet. Crunchy foods are good. Every now and then when I'm like in a kind of grumpy mood, I'll come home and be like, I want something I can crunch on. Yeah. And I don't do that awfully much, but yeah.
And any smells bother you?
Synthetic smells. Again, when I'm around food that has a lot of artificial ingredients, it's like I can almost tell. You can just sort of smell the. It's hard to describe, but it smells cheap. Food that's overly complicated, and I mean way complicated. There's a point where a dish can have more than one ingredient that adds to it, but I tend to think of certain family members of mine who shall remain nameless that have a habit of just taking anything that's in the refrigerator, dumping it in a pot, and making dinner out of that. I don't hold with that theology in cooking.
There was a lady that I heard on TV one time, and she became a cook because her mother used to use anything, and at one point she put an apple pie in the stew.
I heard that story, yes.
And that was it for her. That was the final straw. She became, and she's a very famous cook now. Textures?
I'm pretty flexible. I think the only texture that I really have a hard time tolerating is, I'm going to borrow a term from one of my favorite video games here. Anything that falls under the category of mystery food X. I'm going to just put my foot down there. If it's something that has both chewy textures and stuff that's so hard you can't bite into it, and just...
You're skeptical.
I tend to be skeptical of stuff that whose edibility comes into question after the first bite, yeah.
And do you have any food allergies?
Unless you count penicillin as a food, no.
Well, it comes from mold, so...
Well, granted, there's probably penicillin growing on some of this stuff in my refrigerator at this point, but...
Well, we won't go there.
Yeah, let's not.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
Just, I don't know, I would encourage people to try and be adventurous, barring Mystery Food X.
And pay attention, really be paying attention to what kids have to say about foods, because it's real.
Yeah, if your kid picks up his plate of spaghetti and throws it over his shoulder, chances are it's not just out of spite. There's usually a reason for it of some sort.
Use the lay.
Huh?
Use the lay.
Well, I'm not going to make a blanket statement. You know, there may not always be, but often there is.
Well, and next we're going to go to Andy, whose nickname is...
Sir Eats a Lot because I love to eat.
Sir Eats a Lot because he loves to eat. And Andy is unique in that eating has never been a problem for you.
Right.
From a baby on, up, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes that go around Focus because Andy, we try to have to, tie down the food sometimes and say that's it, right?
Lock the fridge.
Right.
But you love food.
Yeah.
And you love to eat.
Yes.
And you're actually motivated because we're going out to lunch afterwards.
McDonald's,
so, yep. So, what kind of food do you like, Andy?
Pizza is my favorite kind of food.
Pizza?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, macaroni and cheese, Boston Market type, kind of meat and stuff like that.
So you pretty much can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, the big question for you is, do you ever prepare any food?
Sometimes, but it's kind of funny because a lot of times I'll have dinner already made for me when I come home from work.
Yeah.
So I'll just put it in the microwave. But my
that
parents
must be nice.
Yeah. My mom and dad my mom and dad do the majority of the cooking in my family. So.
Maybe we'll go back to the days where you were supposed to prepare a meal once or twice a week.
That was kind of funny because Donna had that idea.
Yeah.
But my mom and dad thought it was a pretty good idea too. But I just
Andy didn't think so.
I kind of lost interest in it.
You made your little passive aggressiveness came in and made it impossible.
Yeah.
What if we did that again?
I don't know. I mean, it would probably be the same result.
There's always microwave dinners.
Yeah, no, I could just go to the store and get some Hungry Man stuff. So.
Do you know how much sodium is in this?
A lot.
What kind of food don't you like, Andy? Is there a food
There
you
isn't
don't
any
like?
kind of food at all that I don't like. So.
Oh, well, that makes it easy. And you like to eat. You eat because you.
It feels good, but also it is a sensory thing. I guess I've learned over the years that that's partly why I like to eat a lot, because it makes me feel like I'm, involved in something, and it keeps my interest up. So.
And he doesn't gain an ounce.
I know.
Which is so. And do you like crunchy foods?
Yeah, I do.
And does any textures bother you?
Nope.
No. Any smells bother you?
Just onions. I would have to agree with Dan on that one. Like I like onions to an extent, but like the smell kind of it doesn't really bother me that much. But if I had to choose one thing, that would be it. So.
It would be the onion factor.
Yeah.
Try them sauteed. They're much better.
No one likes onions.
Nobody likes onions?
No one here.
Hey, wait a minute.
Well, I like them to eat, like, and a little bit to smell, but not like a lot to smell. So.
Yeah. And you don't have any allergies to food, do you?
No.
At least none that I've ever.
Right.
None that I've encountered. Alex, are you ready? Yeah. Okay, and Alex is gonna read what he wrote this morning, and he's going to do it in his best voice and try and be a little slow. Go for it, kiddo.
Picky Eaters by Alex Cable. When I was little, I was a very picky eater. There was a huge variety of food I didn't like. I usually couldn't stand the taste or smell of the foods. Mostly it was the smell. I used to run upstairs and hide under my bed when my mom was cooking, so my mom would do all of the cooking when I was at school. I really don't like to talk about those days. Now that I'm on the panel, I've tried many new foods. I'm not as picky an eater as I used to be. I eat many kinds of meat now. I actually like poultry and fish better than red meat. Poultry and fish are way healthier than red meat. My first favorite was chicken slugs and fries at McDonald's. Other favorite foods of mine include popcorn, chicken, and mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and Caesar salad. When I got on the panel, my taste buds changed. Your taste changed when you get older. That's what I always say. You also learn more about your body and what foods are good for your body. You should always go easy on junk food and fast food. Even if they're your favorites, you shouldn't eat too much of them. That is all about picky eaters.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You did a great job, and guys, I hope that parents and other people will understand about the food, and I think we did a great job here today, letting people know about our peculiarities. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned and join us again. Adios.